All right, Nation. Really appreciate everybody for tuning in. Got to talk about CeeDee. We're going to talk about that. Will he get 1,000 yards? Is it necessary? As well as the biggest hole on this defense, the secondary. Gil Brandt said one of the biggest needs in this particular team, secondary play, safety role. Not free safety, but the safety role altogether, the strong safety spot, basically. Nevertheless, when you think about this team, of course, we think about the draft that happened. You know, we look at everything and we'll say, yeah, man, what a fantastic draft. Nevertheless, 17th pick in the draft, CeeDee Lamb, CeeDee Lamb. Will he get 1,000 reception yards? My thing is, it's not about that. I just want him to be an impact to the team. If he can force his team to pay when he running those inside slant routes, if he can force the team to look at this team differently, the way they align and they assign and the way they play my dog, Amari Cooper. Everybody knows that they're going to roll coverage Amari Cooper's way. That's just how it goes, especially when you think about Michael Gallup blossoming as a player last year, put up 1,000 yards. And, of course, he missed a few games, right? So one could argue that he was on pace to just blowing that thing all the way out until he hurt his knee or what have you. Nevertheless, when you think about CeeDee Lamb, you can recall yourself to think about Randall Cobb. You can go back to the crevices and the thoughts of your mind and say, well, Cobb, he did a great job for us. You know, it wasn't like he was trash or anything. He resurrected his career when you think about it. He resurrected his career going to the Dallas Cowboys. Because remember, everybody was saying he's injury prone. He can't do this. He won't do that. And then I heard a lot of people saying if he were not able to do that with Aaron Rodgers, what makes you think that he's going to do it with Dak Prescott, who's going to get paid, by the way? So, nevertheless, he came in, he did his job. Yes, he had a few drops. Yes, he had some player-hating moves on him as it relates to the aficionados calling some crazy, erroneous calls. But neither here nor there. Can CeeDee get us those raw numbers? Can he be a better in-and-out player as it relates for the Dallas Cowboys? I quite frankly can say this. Yes, I believe that CeeDee Lamb will bring that type of impact to this team. I think that the way he plays in and out of his space and the way he gets off the line is pretty good. I think that although, you know, a lot of people would say, well, he was drafted to be the number one wide receiver. Pause the brake, pump the brake. That was down the line. I think that he struggles a little bit with some, you know, hand-to-hand action, a little press man coverage a little bit. But that's why he's going to play within the confines of this particular offense in that slot role. And I think that whatever we love what Randall Cobb was able to do, I would love for this guy to do it. And I think that he will be a little bit more elusive. I think that he will find the creases in the zones a little bit better because you got a height differentials. And then on top of that, he can catch everything. Like I said earlier on my previous post, the guy just don't have a catch radius as it relates to a window. The guy got a full balcony. Let that sink into your mental. Now, when we talk about the running game and how we implement Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott with this piece, is this right here. We want to have teams to say, okay, we want to shut down the run. We want to bring 8. We want to bring 9 men in the box. Nevertheless, we got now a CeeDee Lamb who can just, okay, you want to do that? You can give me the end around. You want to do that? I can squeeze it within the 5 or 6 yards, turn my hips, and I'll be there for the ball. Oh, you want to keep everybody inside? We got a Jarwin now that vertically can stretch this field out, and I think that is why CeeDee Lamb don't need to have 1,000 yards. Let me say this again. That is why CeeDee Lamb do not need 1,000 yards, because you're going to have the likings of a Blake Jarwin. I think that Jarwin brings that type of element to the table, his ability to vertically stretch the field. So in order for CeeDee Lamb or CeeDee Lamb to get those 1,000 yards, you will have to have a horrible play with Jarwin. There's only one football, Cowboy Nation. And by the natural order of things, of course, Amari Cooper will have 1,000 yards. Of course. Michael Gallup will have 1,000 yards. But by it being split in a sense, you will have some numbers to be up and up for my dog Jarwin, and then you have some number actions be up and up for my dog CeeDee Lamb. Now, from the defensive aspect of this game, yes, when Gil Brandt make a statement, when he put out an article, when he makes a statement out there for the Sirius satellite radio, and people pick it up and write articles, basically, because I don't think he's writing out articles. I listen. He said that the roster spot as it relates to safety play, basically, because he said secondary, but he was mainly talking about the safety aspect of it. It is one of the biggest, probably the issues that we would face on this particular team. Our safety depletion, because it's a big question mark. We don't know whether or not those guys are up to the call, because we know what Darian Thompson brings to the table, right? It's not like he's going to give you 5 and 6 turnovers. It's not like he's going to make an impact hit and you're going to look around and say, oh, man, look at DT. It's not that. It's a land of unknowns. We know that we love Xavier Woods. We all battle cried for him when he got drafted or what have you. And we can make our own thoughts in our own minds of Clinton Dix. Yes, Donovan Wilson looks like a promising rising star, but none of those guys have skin on the wall. None of those guys are proven to the point where we can say, okay, this Sunday night or this Thursday night or this Monday night, we're going to be our safety play is going to be a dividing factor. Nevertheless, just for some room of objectivity with this, we can say to ourselves with the same breath and the same thoughts and the same motion of our minds and hearts to say to ourselves, hey, when you think about it, coaches coach, coaches elevate, a new scheme. Maybe, just maybe, they move Cheeto Woozier back inside. Maybe that's the case. Maybe that's the scenario. But nevertheless, when you think about it, when you say to yourself, is that what you really want? Do you want a person at a new spot, a new field, a new position on the field? Or can we have a positional flex with Worley of the world? I got to say with the worlds, Can he fill in that void? Can he step it up? So it's the land of mysteries, right? And not misery, but land of mysteries. So, position flex, we got that. But can we find that one player that's going to shape things up and make things happen? Now, in my mind, I would put Clinton Dix at the free safety. I will roll out Xavier Woods as a strong safety. I will figure out how to blitz him a little bit more often. And on top of that, when it's passing downs, of course, we want the Donovan Wilson out there because his range is just crazy. I think that he's working out. He's probably working out now, for crying out loud. I think that those type of things, those type of elements can help this team out tremendously. When we think about his action during the preseason, oh my goodness. I know a lot of people are going to say, man, Law, that was preseason though, Law. Hey, preseason's preseason. I will say this too, Cowboy Nation. When we look at those things, not being, I guess, political football, because we knew last year who was going to be the starting safety. But by it being wide open, by everything, looking at it from these angles, saying to ourselves, can we just get a situation as it relates to this team of somebody making a play on the ball that we saw out there during training camp, that we saw out there in preseason? Can they get a chance? But last year, in the last few years, we didn't get that action. So I think by natural order of things, by this team being brand new in a sense, that we will finally see guys that make plays, that make things happen with proven situations as they did in the training camp, as they did during the preseason. Let me know how you guys feel about that. Like I said, We don't need CeeDee Lamb to get 1,000 yards. We don't need him to get 10 to 15 touchdowns because the wealth is going to be spread out. I want Ezekiel Elliott to get multiple touchdowns. I want Amari Cooper to get multiple touchdowns. Oh, I really want Michael Gallup to get his in Jarwin. Not let's just look at one person. This team got too many weapons to do it in those fashions. And I love the fact that everybody start off with a zero slate as relates to the defense. Nobody is married. Nobody have sponsorships as relates to the defensive players. So we will find this thing out. I really appreciate you guys. Don't forget to hit that like button, share this content, and subscribe to this page. Man, that's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go.